we have managed to harvest one of every single diamond in the Hunter Call of the Wild except for two species. Bobcats here on New England mountains, and Eurasian Widgeon from Reventuli Coast and Virunga Savannah. Those are the only two we have yet to find, and every time we set out here on New England, I hope it's for the last time, at least for a while. I've been doing a lot of Bobcat grinding in single player, it's just not working out. We're getting to the point that we're killing like 2 Bobcats on the Northern Creek, so what we're gonna do is run around in multiplayer today and see if we can find ourselves a Diamond Bobcat. And not a bad start, got a mythical here with a really solid estimate. Gonna be shooting in an outline with the 22-250, but we got the fleeing call from that guy, kind of ran up in this direction, and already a pretty decent one. I'm hoping to really spend more time in Bobcat territory today. Before grinding in single player for a while, we did a couple of hunts in multiplayer, and frankly, we just weren't hunting in the right areas enough. This guy real quick was, man, a 27.41. That is only 0.2 shy, and he's a mythical? Hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. We also had a warning call. Sounded to me like it was to the right. Something called there, so I guess we'll go in that direction. But I'm really hoping to be able to, focus on this northern area a lot today, and we'll be hunting things other than bobcats as well. If we run into, for instance, moose or whitetail, potentially fox up here as well, we'll go after them. But the main goal, as you could probably expect, is going to be bobcats. And there is that guy. That was a level 6. I'm guessing that was the one that warning called, because it ended up being right where that call came from. Oh, he slowed down just when we shot. I think we hit him in the neck or something, because I saw that just barely as the outline faded. The animation of him falling may have been a brain shot or something, but it got him. Is vital blood, but brain would still show vital blood, so let's see if it's gonna work. That took a minute. That was upper neck. Totally looked out there at 120 meters with the 22-250, but we'll take it. 2 gold bobcats already, and frankly, it would have taken where we were hunting before probably hours even to pull that off. So I like what we have going so far, and we've got another max estimate track and another mythical. We had the warning call again, so I figured he had to be close by. That one, I think, might be the brown variation, which I do like a little bit better than the tan variant, but not gonna matter too much when it's a mythical and not a level 9. But again, like I said, we spent hours to achieve the results we've had in literally 12 minutes. That one's a female, but running into way more bobcats, go figure, when we hunt the right areas. That felt like it's gonna be close, probably just in front of the lungs. And I think we did it again too. Both of those shots were just a tick too early. Not our best shooting. We do have probably the track of that female bobcat that we heard just there. I want to see. That was the gray variant. I'm actually not even sure. Maybe I've been shooting some tan and some gray and didn't even realize. First shot was in the shoulder blade. Second shot was almost that lucky neck shot again. Would have preferred it on the mythical, but of the 2 mythicals we've already shot, the bigger one we made a better shot on, so I guess I'd prefer it that way than the other way around. What the heck? A random albino disturbed veg track from a gray fox. No way. Okay, forget bobcat for a little bit. We gotta find this. It's a decent sized female, potentially a gold. Got a feed zone. But I'd say we're a little bit late from that. If the track is fresh, we should be able to figure out where she went from there. But I think they feed till like 7 or something, so she'll be well out of here. That was a female gray fox fleeing audio call? Maybe we're caught up to her. So she's been warping across the map. You can see these very straight line tracks, but it's just in line with where these were. And we're basically losing ground. There's a rest zone though. That had to have been her. This is gonna be interesting because wherever she slows down at, we're not taking a shot on the move, especially after we just whipped on that bobcat. We gotta find her and get like a good clean shot opportunity. There she is, a level 5 female albino gray fox. She's gonna go ahead and drop down over that hill, and the wind isn't as good here. Now, we know based on the level she can't make gold, so maybe a little less worried about making a perfect shot. We'll see if we can kind of encounter her in the open where she'll slow down, but If we have to, maybe we can go for a trotting shot, only because it is so thick on this part of New England. It's really tough to see any kind of distance anywhere. I think we might try this. We've managed to kind of flank her. She's just down like below where we can see. That's her right there. About 75 meters away. Gonna get to the side of this tree, and of course she just turned. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we're gonna rejoin on the off chance that was like an accident, but I don't like our chances. Well, this is something I never knew. Apparently, if you get kicked from a server and don't identify any other tracks, rejoining keeps the tracks highlighted blue. I'm hoping we can stay here, and now, if we get like a broadside trotting shot or anything, we're definitely gonna go for it, but we're back on her tracks. We had encountered her just up here. This is where we spooked her from. And I think she ran in this direction. Gonna be interesting to try to relocate it. I just saw her again. She's down here. I think that shot is doable too. Gonna try to do this before she ends up turning this time, as soon as she clears these trees. I felt like we were a touch too far back. It still got her. We may have gotten liver, I don't know. I was literally overcompensating, I think, for the Bobcat, but we're gonna run up here and speed tax this thing, because I really don't want to get kicked again, especially after we went back and found it a second time. That looks like non-vital blood. Unfortunately, just the circumstances around this one, we had to just make the shot. Shows a lot about the 22-250. Just the mere fact that it brought her down that quickly with a high bleed rate, but let's get this. Tax it before anything happens. And unfortunately, we did just shoot a little too far back. I mean, that is almost touching the liver. What a cool looking animal, though. We've never killed an albino albino gray fox before, or an albino red fox for that matter. Would have been better if we got the vital hit. I would like to think if we weren't rushed and just trying to make sure we got her, maybe we could have, but like I said, actually before we got kicked, we know it's not going to be a gold. Would have been a silver, kind of close-ish to gold. 5.07 gold is 5.32. But that is, I would say, probably better than getting a diamond bobcat here from New England. We're still going to continue to look for one. But that is a really cool kill. I never would have expected to find that up here. You know, the worst part is, I'm really not sure why we got kicked, and we've been perfectly fine staying in the server ever since. And we probably could have taken our time more with that albino, but we've got a very similar opportunity here at a very similar gray fox. And of course, when the pressure's not as high, we make that shot just fine. This one's got a chance to be a gold, so we might as well see what that is. And then we had a bobcat call. I think that was the female mating call, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. But I wish we had identified it just to be sure. This was indeed a gold, 5.40, double-lunged her. And if only we could have done that with the albino gray fox, we would have been just fine. But suppose that just kind of is how it goes sometimes with multiplayer. That's a pretty solid bobwhite quail. We've had his track 0.22 to 0.25 kilo, which is the max. Only a level 2, but after spending this much time going after him, I figured we might as well take him out, and it was up to 249, I think. 227 gold, 238 is diamond, so they're the same as the stubble quail. Not a bad size one, and one of these days I'd like to get a male bobwhite quail diamond, because when we got our diamond over on Mississippi, only females made it, and we've actually even killed a male level 3. For whatever reason, when they came out, the males could not make diamond even as level 3s, and females only made it as level 2s, so it would be nice to get one, like with the current scoring. Got a bobcat running across there, we might as well go ahead and try to get as well. That's that weird thing, it seems like it's only in the water, but they kind of freeze when you hit them. I'm really not sure, that second shot may have just hit the water. Either way, just a level 6, but we'll take a bonus kill going through here. But then, just out of curiosity, did we actually hit him 3 times? Oh, we did. First shot was flesh, a little bit too high, and then we should have just left it at the second shot, but he kind of wasn't dropping as quickly as I thought he would. Third shot got him, and he actually would have ended up being a silver as well, but finding plenty of animals out here today on New England, which isn't always the norm. So as we kind of start to bring this hunt to a close, I always find it so interesting how, like, cyclical hunting can be here on New England. At the very beginning of this hunt, we were tripping over stuff. We had 2 max estimate bobcats really early on, got that albino gray fox track, and I think that kind of threw us off a little bit, getting kicked and spending so much time trying to end up getting that. But it's really, since then, been a lot slower paced. There have been bobcats that we've kind of ignored. We haven't seen a max estimate track since the one that we messed up there. But I guess that's just kind of the way it goes. It seems to go that way, you know, at different points in the hunt. Eventually, we get into a little pocket of bobcats, often find a couple of big ones, and then go a long period of time until the next one. But a decent little level 3 moose drinking at this lake ended up being a silver at 190.29, I think that says. Shy of gold by about 4, but a broadside hard shot with the 7mm is never a bad thing, a little bit harder to achieve than with the more powerful weapons. And I want to try to find one more thing, and we'll continue to hunt in bobcat territory. Maybe we'll go to this outpost? That is not what I expected. We have another mythical bobcat. I don't know why he's running this way though. I bet if we just kind of get far enough away that he's not like as alerted being close to us, he should go to a trot and let us get a shot. He's kind of slowing down. I mean, if he goes too far, we could just go for it, but that's kind of what we wanted. And that's going to be one final mythical today. 3 mythicals here on New England Mountains, and go figure, just as I talked about, the albino gray fox throwing us off and kind of getting back on track, we're able to find yet another one. And I do think if we keep this up and keep coming back to multiplayer, eventually we're going to be bound to find one. But I think this is that gray variation again, and it is another pretty big one, 40 plus kilo again, 27.15. I mean, we have been so close on so many different occasions, but today's hunt, at the end, ends up being about our albino gray fox. So we're going to take that back to the trophy lodge, place that in our secondary lodge, and see how it looks. And if there's one place where Spring Creek Manor kind of outdoes the Seika Safari, is in these smaller platforms. There's a whole bunch of them, and when we have a bunch of trophy small game, that comes into effect. So got our albino gray fox here. I think we can come up with a better pose than that. Maybe sort of just a jumping pose, because we have the diamond links here from Reventuli, and I think that is going to work quite well. So go figure, an albino gray fox, I would argue, considerably more rare than a diamond bobcat, but we find that first on a New England Mountains multiplayer server, and I still wish we had taken our time more knowing what we know now, that we weren't going to just get kicked again. I'd still love to know what happened, if that was an accident, or why we got booted out of there in the first place, but at the end of the day, still looks the same in the trophy lodge, and still pretty cool to get our first ever albino gray fox. So we will be heading back to New England Mountains at least one more time down the road, but for now, that's going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.